I don't think you have to have lots of money to live beautifully. Creativity is free, and there are so many ways to make inspiring and beautiful spaces without spending $500 million. So what can we do to do it better? And that's a constant conversation until the end of time.
Hi, I'm Jen Rogers, and I'm here with Genevieve Gorder. Hi, Genevieve.
Hi, Jen. Nice to see you again.
You too. I mean, it's crazy. Everybody knows you, I think, as a designer and a TV personality. And frankly, that's kind of what I thought of you as. And then I dove in and I realized you're really a businesswoman. Tell me all the businesses that you are in, if you can even figure them out.
I mean, yes, I'm a businesswoman. It's not what I lead with. And I do think it's something that I regretfully wish I had taken alongside design, and I think it should be a requirement, art schools, if you're listening, that we, in tandem, learn business, because creatives so often have no clue, as our left brains are this big, and we sell ourselves short.
When I think about it, you're almost like a one-woman gig economy, freelance situation, right? You have to run your own company. How do you do that? Like, cobble all of this together then to make Genevieve Gorder the brand?
Social media is definitely one job we all have to have on our own to promote ourselves and what we're doing to our audiences.
And that's 24 hours a day.
Gosh, I wish it was less. You know, I try and in my mind, I say, I will give 10 to 15% of my day to this every day. It keeps growing. As far as what businesses I have right now, I mean, if you're not diverse at this point in life and time, you're a dinosaur. I have a lot of product partnerships where I'm creating lines of furniture, fabric, wallpaper, getting into paints now.
Did you have rugs too?
Rugs,
I feel like, see, like you have so many things, you can't even remember all of them. I was going through.
It's a lot. It's an octopus.
Yeah.
And then there's the TV side of your life. There's the podcast part of your life, and there's press. So I would say there's at least 8 arms that, you know, I'm just the globule head of all of these arms. And they get longer and shorter depending on what time of year it is.
How hands-on are you with the business side of all of this?
Super. I've become better in the last, 5 to 10 years, much better. In the beginning, I was just a ball of giggles and I had no idea what this was. There is no template for my job. It didn't exist before Trading Spaces happened. So all of it is kind of me with a machete making the path. I feel that being authentic is probably the thing I do best. And that means that it has to be in my voice and it has to come from these hands and this brain.
You had a really interesting comment about the corporate ladder. You talked about having to sometimes go down the ladder and up the ladder.
Yes.
Can you talk about why you would ever go down the ladder?
You put ego aside. I think we sometimes lead that climb of ladder for ego alone and maybe don't know that, hey, it's cool right here. Let's stop for a minute. Let's take another ladder. Let's go a different way. It's not just one trajectory to happiness and success.
Let's go back to the beginning. The scrappy Midwest.
The Midwest is scrappy. We're the spine of the country. Without us, it all falls apart. You could cut off a coast and we could still function. You cut the spine out, we fall down. Soul music, jazz, and we all know how to make stuff. And so it's part of the personality of the Midwest. We can also dance.
Oh yeah, and you did some dancing. You've been around musicians.
Yeah.
Violin?
Yeah, I played violin for like 25 years.
It's crazy.
I speak and design with music. What are the highs? What are the lows? Where's the pause in a room? Where's the crescendo? Where do we get crazy? I see it all like music.
Wow.
It helps.
Who did you learn the most about money from, your mom or your dad, do you think?
Neither.
Who taught you the most about money?
My grandparents, my grandfather particularly. And at 97, he's still teaching me about money. Coming from the Depression, and I think this knowing what it's like not to have, the value of money, how to keep it, how to make it, and math were his great lessons. He's the voice of reason for money for me. I also knew from my parents, my mother and father having been divorced, I never want to rely on anyone for my success and my money. I don't want to have to ask for it, and I don't want to have to wait for it. I want to make it myself.
Is that part of why you got a job when you were pretty young? And can you talk about your first jobs? I think you're 14, you were working at a restaurant?
Yeah, well, you know, and now I should preface it and say that my mom is now a doctor and put herself through school, like she graduated at 50. But when I was a kid, we didn't have a lot. So at 14, I could work. I worked at TCBY. It was a frozen yogurt. I don't know if you remember it.
Do you remember what you made?
Like $3.
Oh, no.
I closed the shop at like midnight and would walk home at 14. That is not cool. But yes, I've always known what it is to work. I've been babysitting since I was 10. So yeah, busy.
And now you have your own daughter.
I do.
What do you hope she gets from watching you run your business?
This has been a conversation I've been having with myself since she was born, because you have that mom guilt initially in that I have to go away from you. And my satiation was always saying to myself, I need her to watch me work because this is what she's going to have to do one day. And I want her to see how much I love this and how good I am at this. And that's like, what a huge gift of confidence that you can give to your daughter, especially of, watch me do this. Look what happens because I do this. And she's definitely gotten the message. Of course, she wants me home every day, every minute right now. That might change in 2 years. But having a sense of purpose as a mom, beyond being a mom, and crushing it is, I think, one of the best gifts I can give her in life, period.
Welcome to our speed round.
Okay.
You
Is
ready?
it a game?
Yes.
I love games.
Well, we have a game coming up. Saver or spender?
Saver.
Oh, I'm kind of surprised.
I know, right? I don't do frivolous. I don't spend on fashion. I spend on trips and good food, but that's about it. And home.
Duh. Impulse buyer or agonizer?
Impulse.
Cash or credit?
Credit.
Check or Venmo?
Venmo. God, I'm not 90.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Some people.
Okay.
Cable or cord cutter?
Oh, yeah, I have cable because I'm on cable.
If you could design a new $1 bill, who would you put on it?
Ooh, hang on.
It's okay, we got time.
Hang on. I bring in Rosa Parks. There's a lot more to say there, but we'll start with that.
I like that. Keep the penny or get rid of it.
Sentimental. And they're lucky, so keep it.
What was your worst job?
I will say it's a job that I have had higher up in my career. And it wasn't because of the job itself, it was because of the people that were in charge. When there's bullies at the top, no one's happy.
Biggest money mistake Genevieve Gorder has ever made?
Hiring the wrong people.
What's the most important thing someone taught you about money?
Investing. I tend to want to hoard like I do with things for home. I have storage units. With money, I think because I didn't grow up with a lot, I just want to hang on to it. So knowing how to make money work for me in things that I understand. I don't invest in pork bellies. I don't understand it. I invest in real estate.
Storage units.
I can't.
How many do you have?
3.
It's like you're paying rent on an apartment on your 3.
I am, and I probably paid for everything in those storage units 4 times over at this point. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a whole nother show too.
What is the best advice about money that you can give?
With money, it's going back into your childhood and really looking at what the relationship to money was when you were just finding out what money was. Did your parents have any? Was it always like, how are we gonna pay this? Was it evil? What were the monetary goals in your household? Were there any? Chances are, if your family didn't have money, they struggled with money, they didn't have a good outlook on what money was, they didn't invest it, you're probably that adult too. So knowing what that was, putting it in its place, and doing the work to get to a place where it's okay to be friends with money, it's okay to have it, and it's okay to make it.
You said you love games.
I do, I love
So you
games.
ready? We have a game here to play.
Except games of the heart, I don't like that.
Okay, I'm gonna give you these, and I want you to tell me if they're worth more or less than $10. And that first one is a 100 Cambodian rial.
Less.
It is 2.5 cents.
Yes, ding, 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 I got
You
one.
are right.
Okay, with
That
Korea?
is 100 Chinese yuan. More,
Less.
That is actually around $14.
No.
I know. This is
Oh,
20
this
Swedish
is-
krona.
So sweet, whoever this is on this krona.
I don't know, she's cute.
I'd say that the krona, 20 krona, is worth more.
Less.
Oh, okay, two wrong, one right.
$2.22. And
Last, it's worth nothing.
you got that one right. You nailed the Monopoly money.
Okay, 50-50.
one.
I think
Okay.
that's appropriate for a designer.
Love it. That's perfect.